as you suggested, today we are going to have mentor-mentee evaluate. So Avni is going to evaluate your speech.
Okay.
Lovely.
And Glenn, you are going to evaluate Amya's speech, his icebreaker speech, his title. I'm just sending it in the group.
Should we start, guys?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'll just check with Kedar because he's the accounter.
Sure. So, Avni, when am I going to get to hear you now as a speaker? Very soon?
Very soon, hopefully next week or next to next week. Actually, I started writing, but was not able to complete it with multiple things happening.
You've not done any icebreaker, right?
Not yet.
So I was just thinking, next week, because we have so many new members, I think we should have an icebreaker speech marathon. Yeah. So Avni, next week, let's do it.
Yeah. Should we start, guys? It's 11:08.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kedar is joining in a minute, but I think we can start.
Okay. So we can start, right? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mumbai Speaker Toastmaster Club. My name is Shreyansh Jain, and I am Zoom Master and Sergeant at Arms of today's meeting. I would like to begin with stating the mission of the Toastmaster Club. The mission of Toastmaster Club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I would like to mention 3 ground rules that we follow in Toastmaster meeting. First, kindly switch off or put your phone in the silent mode. Second, refrain from talking about 3 taboo topics: political, religion, and sex. Thirdly, please do not cross-talk while in meeting. Now, since we are in online Zoom environment, there are few instructions that we need to follow. First, all the speakers and role bearer are requested to prefix their role to their names so that it is easier to find them and identify them. Secondly, all the speakers are requested to do a quick video and audio check before they start speaking. Then, don't interrupt while speaking when someone is speaking, and please put yourself on mute. And support the speaker with warm smiles and claps, and you can always react with claps. And you can connect with me if there is any technical glitch. Okay, to officially start this meeting, I want to note that this meeting will be recorded and live streamed on YouTube. Today, we have a very interesting and innovative session lined up. So let's get started. It's my privilege and pleasure to welcome the president of the club and presiding officer of today's meeting. She is hardworking, very supportive, and I always look up to her to guide me whenever I'm stuck. So let us give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Sarika. Over to you, PO Sarika.
Sorry, Shreyans, it's Toastmaster Sudha.
Oh shit. Over to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Wow, what a great beginning. You just now said the guidelines of the Toastmasters meeting and you've used one word already. Anyway, good morning, guys, on that lovely humorous note. Good morning, everyone. I'm really honored and joyful today to be able to start this wonderful meeting today. It's, of course, the augment of a lot of beautiful things to come in the year. And we all started off with the Vasantotsav, which I think we remember, which was the Holi festival. And then we had the horrible rains, or maybe the rains which is also loved by a lot of people. And of course, Mumbai has its different way of celebrating every festival. Like Sarika mentioned in her agenda about in the poster, the fact that we hear a lot of dhols, we hear a lot of loudspeakers, there will be a lot of traffic jam, there'll be colors, there'll be aartis, a lot of food to eat. And yes, what is this in celebration of? Are the God of all beautiful beginnings. And I think that's why I believe that when we start our festive season with such a beautiful festival like Ganesh Chaturthi, everything kind of the spirit and the mood, everything just gets lightened up. And it doesn't go off till probably the Christmas and New Year's. So this is the beautiful time which we are going to welcome. And with that, I would also like to welcome the guests who are attending the meeting today. And we have quite a good line of guests today. So I would like to start with guest Neeraj to basically introduce himself and say a little bit about yourself and why you are here. I think you muted, Neeraj.
Sorry. Yeah. Hi. Good morning, everyone, and a happy Sunday to you all. Yeah. So I am Neeraj Shah. I am an engineer and an MBA, and I'm currently working with a MNC bank. And my purpose to join Toastmasters is to improve my communication skills. I was prior working with Tata Consultancy Services, where I was on ad hoc basis part of Toastmasters, but I was not very regular over there. Now I plan to be a regular member of Toastmasters.
Very nice. A warm welcome to you, Neeraj. And I'm sure you're going to be loving the journey, because people who sit behind laptops now have to interact with human beings, because we also have physical meetings, which we are planning at least once a month going forward. Welcome,
Okay.
Neeraj.
Thank you.
Pragnash, would you like to say something about yourself, Pragnash?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Pragyansh Saxena, and this is my second meeting at in Toastmaster and also in this club. And I am currently working in a Punjab National Bank in Midnapur, West Bengal. And I heard about this Toastmaster from one of my seniors, and he has recommended me because to improve my communication skills. So I'm looking forward to improve my overall personality as well as communication skills via this club.
Amazing, amazing. Warm welcome from West Bengal to you, Pragyansh. Ram Sagar Yadav, would you like to share something about yourself, Ram Sagar? Hello? Okay, we'll come back to Mr. Yadav. Karthik, are you a guest or you're a Toastmaster or visiting Toastmaster?
No, I am a guest. Today is my first time.
Okay, perfect. So we'd like to hear something about you, Karthik.
Yeah, my name is Karthik Babishi. I'm working in a textile company. Last 17 years, I'm in the same company. It's basically a textile manufacturing company where we manufacture industrial fabrics, not a consumer. And I was recently I have promoted as a DGM in my company, but I'm looking further. So I need to improve my communication skill as well as my presentation skills. So where we have a coaching, leadership coaching in our organizations. So it has been told to me that you join Toastmaster where you can improve yourself for the communication as well as presentation. So I'm improving. I have joined this. So today is my first day.
Perfect. Warm welcome to you, Karthik. And yes, you're in the right place, because here learning happens so naturally just by attending the meetings and taking up roles. You just realize a lot of changes happening in your field of public speaking. So warm welcome, Karthik. So yes, we are now all set to start the meeting. And to do the honors, we have a very lovely, enthusiastic, charming person who's going to take us through the journey of, yes, sorry.
We have more guests, Gaurav Jajodia. And yeah.
I don't
just
see
one more.
Gaurav.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hi, Gaurav. Yes. Good morning. Sorry.
Hi, good morning. So good morning, everyone.
Please, our pleasure to hear something from you, Gaurav. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Actually, I have 10 years of experience working in Max Life Insurance. I am born and brought up in Calcutta, presently at Mumbai. For quite some time, I was looking for opportunity or platform where I can participate and improve my communication skill, because obviously there's no limit to how much you can improve. And there's a lot of gap which I want to fill up. So just Googling and saw this Toastmaster International and was lucky to found this club. And today itself I called and got to know that 11 o'clock meeting is starting. So joined, and let's see how things go forward, but really excited and look forward to a lot of opportunity to improve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome, Gaurav. Why should you delay some good beginnings, right? So congratulations for taking that first step to come over as a guest. So yes, we are all set now to start the meeting. I hope I've covered all the guests, and we will be coming back to getting your feedback once the meeting is almost over, because feedback is what we learn from, and we want to continuously improve ourselves as a club. So with that, yes, it's my pleasure to introduce a very warm, lively, charming, and a person who is very hardworking and ready to now multi-hat, triple hat, and keep the show going on. So my pleasure to welcome the president of the club, Toastmaster Sarika. Let's put our hands together.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Sarika, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, presiding officer Sudha. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and all the guests present here. A very warm welcome on a beautiful Sunday morning. Life is all about happiness, and as humans, we are all social beings, and social interaction brings happiness and also helps us grow in our capacity to learn languages, familiarize ourselves with culture, and inquire. So today, I was wondering what topic do I speak on, and I thought, because the loudspeakers are on, and let me talk something about festivals. What are festivals? Festival is actually an event of celebration and joy, which you may associate with religion, culture, or some national event. It actually brings positivity. It reduces negativity. It reduces the friction if you have with anyone. You tag along, you communicate with strangers, you be friend with everyone, and you are completely in a bond of love and a happy zone. There are, more than 50 festivals which are celebrated in India. In fact, I'm sure it will be more than that. And every state follows a different festival and have different culture. It is difficult for me to list down everything, but today I thought, let me talk about few of the festivals. Now today, the first part, I'm going to talk about Paryushan. Paryushan is a festival which is ongoing. It is a festival of Jains, where we follow 8 days of ritual. And I, being a Jain, I can talk more about Paryushan. So what is Paryushan? Basically, it's all about self-analyzing, soul-searching, and deep introspection of what exactly you do and of your past conduct. We have few, we do not eat in the after sunset. So basically they say a lot of people fast during this period, because they say when you fast, you are more connected spiritually. And hence, Paryushan is we perform sadhana, we break from the routine life, and we actually reflect on what is our past conduct, non-violence, not eating out, not eating any underground vegetables, follow rituals, go to the temple, conduct puja and all. Now, what is this all? And the main thing is this festival is considered as festival of forgiveness. Now, what is every festival, I feel, that has some or the other association and teaches you some moral value. And Paryushan teaches you the moral value of forgiving people and at least ask for forgiveness. Now, when you ask for forgiveness, what exactly are you achieving? If you are asking for forgiveness, it will actually bring peace to your mind and it will help you to move forward. So the main moral of Paryushan is about it's a festival of seeking forgiveness and forgiving people. And in that 8 days, you follow this ritual so that you're more connected to spirituality. Now, this is on Paryushan. I'm going to cover a few more festivals in the later half. Now, for the benefit of everyone and for the guest, I'm going to tell you how the Toastmaster meeting is being conducted. Now, the Toastmaster meeting is being divided into 3 parts. One is a prepared speech, one is table topic, and the third part is general evaluation. The prepared speech, now to help me conduct this entire meeting, we have few tag role players. Now, let me call upon my first tag role player, who is Shreyans, Toastmaster Shreyans, who is playing the role of a timer. Now, before I go to Shreyans and before I hand over the stage to Shreyans, I would like to ask one question to Shreyans. Shreyans, what is the best part that you like about festival?
Okay, so the best part I like about festival is I like to meet new peoples and of course my relatives. And yes, we all spend time together. We all have lunch together, and it's a lot of fun and enjoyment together. And I also like that we get holidays in colleges, which is the main part. And yeah,
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Shreyans. This is a very important aspect that you touched upon. You get together, you meet people, you have lunch together. I think this is the significance of festival. Festival is just an occasion where you all bond together, the bond of love that you all come together. You meet friends, and you just enjoy. You actually break from your routine. So that is what all. And a very good takeaway that Shreyans that you mentioned. So now over to you to provide your timing guidelines.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. As a timer, I will be helping speakers to express the thoughts with allocated time. My duty is to time prepared speeches, table topics, and speech evaluation and to help perform my role. I have 3 cards. Okay, so the first one is the green card. The green card helps the speaker to represent that he is qualified. And then the yellow cards represent that the speaker has reached the target time. Thirdly, the red card, which shows the maximum time has allotted. And after the grace period of 30 seconds after the red card, if the speaker extends, then he or she will be disqualified. And for the icebreaker speeches, I will show green card at 4 minutes, yellow card at 5 minutes, and red card at 6 minutes. And disqualification will happen at 6 minutes 30 seconds. And for the normal speech, I will show green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes, and disqualification will happen in 7 minutes 30 seconds. I will give my time report whenever TMOD calls me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreyans. Thank you for providing the timing guidelines. Now, to help me conduct the meeting better, I have another tag role player. The tag role that I want to call upon is Toastmaster Dhirendra, who's the grammarian. And before Dhirendra, you share your timing guidelines, I would just like to ask one thing. What is the importance of festival that you feel? Why is celebrating festival important?
Yes, thank you, sir, Toastmaster Sarika, for that delightful question. So, in my opinion, it's something which helps you break the routine. See, each one of us as an individual have some roles and responsibilities in their life, and that we are following a daily routine, and we are delivering our responsibilities. Festivals are basically the opportunities that helps you break the routine, meet you, helps you, it gives you a reminder that hey, you have your personal life as well. You have your relatives who cares for you. You have something else as well which you should prioritize in your life, be it your family, be it your relatives, be it your something near and dear one who you actually care about. You make sure that they are not forgotten apart from your daily responsibilities that you are engaged in. So this is what is the importance of festival for me, what I understand.
Thank you for sharing your experience. This is actually so true, that you break from the routine, you meet friends. So now over to you, Dhirendra, to share your timing guidelines as a grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. Good morning, everyone. All the eminent speakers, all my dear guests who have marked their auspicious presence on this meeting today. My name is Dhirendra Singh, and I'm your grammarian for the day. Before I go ahead and actually brief you about my roles and responsibilities as a grammarian for this meeting today, I would like to steal this moment and enlighten you with a very beautiful thought of the day that comes to my mind, and it says that I'm not what happened to me. I am something what I chose to become. So friends, each one of us in this meeting have actually made an individual choice towards your own aspiration to become an eminent Toastmaster speaker in their life. So with this enlightening thought for the day, I would like to brief you my roles and responsibilities for the day. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening them carefully to their language usage. I'll take a note of any not so correct usage of the English language as well as the examples of good usage. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce you to the word of the day. So for today's meeting, the word of the day is epitome, which means a typical or an ideal example. I encourage each speaker to use word of the day. Whenever any speaker on the stage uses the word of the day in the right context, I request other speakers on the call to show a silent thumbs up sign as a mark of appreciation for using word of the day. I will give a word of the day report and a grammatical usage report when called upon by a general evaluator at the end of this meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Sarika. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dhirendra. Epitome. It's an amazing word. And maybe you want to share also an example of how do you use epitome, Dhirendra?
Sorry, I did not prepare for that.
No worries. Okay, so anyone else who would like to maybe share an example of the word epitome and can use and can try?
Yeah, I can try. So if I say, for example, capitalism, so USA is the epitome of capitalism, because that's from there capitalism actually came into being, and everywhere in the world it has been used ever since. So USA is the epitome of capitalism.
Thank you, Kedar. Anyone else who wants to try?
Sarika, can I come in?
Yes, please.
I think it's a little important when you introduce the word of the day to have the right pronunciation of the word as well. And this is the most commonly mispronounced word. So the actual pronunciation is epitome. It's not epitome, it's epitome. So if we can go ahead and use the right pronunciation as well, that would, yeah, epitome. Yeah, thanks.
It's a new learning today. So Joy, can you please use the word and try using the word in a sentence and just explain the guest and everyone?
So since we have one of the most seasoned Toastmasters, Sudha, I would like to call her the epitome of professionalism. Yeah, because she indeed ensures that everything is tied from end to end. So that would be a good example, I suppose. Epitome. Okay?
Thank you. And we also had guest Dharmendra who had raised his hand. Dharmendra?
Yes, Sarika. So yeah, about this epitome word. So I was trying to say that we can say Sachin Tendulkar is epitome in the world of cricket as a player.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for using it. And I would say that hopefully today's meeting is the epitome of all the Toastmasters meeting. So let's see, fingers crossed. Okay, so now let me call upon my next tag role player, the R counter, Toastmaster Kedar. Toastmaster Kedar, before you maybe take over your role, one question for you. What is the best thing that you do during festival time? The most favorite part that you perform, and any activity or something that you perform during festival, and it's only unique to festivals.
Yeah, during festivals, I think maybe it's not unique, but my favorite thing is to eat food. You get to eat a lot of food, a lot of sweets. I like sweets. And apart from festivals, I don't usually get to eat a lot of sweets because I'm doing a lot of fitness and all. So, but during festivals, I tend to eat a lot of sweets. So that's, I think, my favorite part.
Thank you, Kedar. So over to you, Kedar, to share your counter guidelines.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Sarika. So, hello, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My role as the R counter is to record all the unnecessary sounds like maybe use if you use some filler words like but, like, so, okay. If you use some filler phrases like so on, etc. And I will also record any extremely long pauses which any of the speakers use. So whenever I'm called upon by the Toastmaster of the Day to present the report, I will show you an Excel sheet in which I will basically I'll share the screen and you'll be able to see which speaker used how many filler words or how many crutch words. The basic objective of this role is to if for example a speaker is using a lot of crutch words like so it basically obstructs the smooth flow of speech and it can be annoying and it can be distracting to the listeners. So that is why for our own personal development as a speaker, it's very important to know that how many filler words or how many crutch words are we using. So that's about it for my role, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kedar. Okay, so let's move forward to our next section is the prepared speech. Now to call upon, to have my first speaker, I will like to call upon the evaluator of the first speaker, that is Toastmaster Glenn, to share the evaluating guidelines. Over to you, Toastmaster Glenn.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. Actually, I've not received the evaluation guidelines of the title, but this being the icebreaker speech, it will be Toastmaster Ramya's first speech. And the purpose of the speech is for him to introduce himself to the club. Do you have the title?
Yeah. This is
yes, I'm going to share it. Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Glenn. Now let me call upon our first speaker, who's actually giving a new Toastmaster and giving his speech for the first time. Put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Ramya. The title of his speech is A Life-Changing Experience. A life-changing experience, Toastmaster Ramya. Toastmaster Ramya, a life-changing experience. Over to you.
Thank you, Sarika. Good morning, all Toastmaster and guests. I'm Amir, presently working in a bank. There are so many up and down in my life, but one life-changing experience I can share, it was when I was in college. From childhood, I was dreaming to become an engineer. As at that time in my area, people used to think only two careers, that is either doctors or engineer. and I chose to become an engineer. Being a lower middle class family, I was not in position to afford the private engineering college. I had only one option, that is government engineering college. Somehow I managed to get admission in that college. It was giving me immense pleasure by thinking that for the first time, I was going to start my hostel life, where I will be totally independent. Nobody will be there to judge me, no parents, no teachers, and no seniors, being a first batch of that college. Then they come. I joined the college, and to welcome us, the teachers, lecturers, and professors are there. They welcome us, and they gave good speeches, and they have boosted my morale. Then we go to the hostel life, where I found friends from different parts of the state. After initial introduction, they started bullying each other for making fun. At that time, I was totally new to this type of environment and was not appreciating criticism at all. When someone was criticizing and mocking me or my activities, I was getting depressed and was thinking deeply, why he said so? What wrong I have done with him? I have never judged other and made fun. Why these guys are doing with me? This type of thinking were getting heavier day by day. And day came when my active mind was totally blocked due to heavy tension. It affected in my studies. It affected in my diet system also, because so much thinking has created acidity. Again, it added to my tension list. Then exam came, and I found my mind was totally blocked and not able to recollect the thing. I studied, I'm not able to recollect the thing I studied earlier and done poorly in exam. I lost all hope with frustration. At that time, I had not identified my exact problem and hence was blaming my friends and other for all this type of problem. In one of my vacation, I had visited my hometown and met with one of my well-wishers who had inquired about myself, and I told him my problem by blaming other for all these things that were happening with me during the last 2 years. The gentleman listened carefully and advised me to write down in a paper everything that happened with you, since your memory you can recollect. I thought he will read it and do some magic that will solve my entire problem immediately. And I sincerely wrote down as per his advice. After completion of writing, whatever was in my mind, I found myself totally relaxed. As the whatever was mind that has come out in the paper, I asked myself question and found answer. When someone is saying something which is not appreciated by me, then why I am giving so much importance to it? Why not I am ignoring it? After all, this is my life. Why I am giving so much importance? And that type of thinking has changed my life dramatically. Afterward, I took all the bullying activities and fun with my friends lightly without giving deep thought. Then I learned to accept constructive criticism. This took little time, and gradually this did magic. With due time, I regained my lost confidence. My mind was unblocked gradually, and I did well in exam and also able to improve my personality. I made friends and enjoyed their companies. Remaining 2 years has changed my life dramatically. And this has helped me a lot in my professional life also, where you have to give balancing act to both work life as well as personal life. This is all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amya. This was really very inspiring. And because it is your first icebreaker speech, I would request everyone to give a standing ovation.
Thank you. Thank you. Just I've tried, but I don't know.
It was just amazing. It was really inspiring.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to give 1 minute to everyone to share their feedback on the personal chat of Amya's, since it's its first speech.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, Shreyans, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move forward to our next speaker. And to evaluate the next speaker, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Avni. Over to you, Toastmaster Avni.
Thank you. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. So the speaker is Toastmasterjoy, and the purpose of the speech is engaging humor. Timer, kindly note the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to Toastmaster Sarika.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Avni. And now I would like to call upon a very seasoned Toastmaster, Toastmasterjoy, very experienced. He's, the title of his speech is Two Kinds of People, Toastmasterjoy. Toastmasterjoy, Two Kinds of People. Over to you, Toastmasterjoy.
Thank you, TMOD, Sarika. All right. A huge Zomato billboard on the highway recently caught my attention. And this billboard right at the top said, there are two kinds of people in this world. And then it had a picture of a ketchup bottle on one half and a bottle of mustard on the other. And it immediately reminded me of one of my most manipulative bosses during my long career. He was called the two kinds boss because every time he would face resistance from anybody, he would pull out the two kinds of people card. Like this one instance, I had too much on my plate and I tried to tell him that, I can't take on additional responsibilities. He said, Joy, there are two kinds of people in this world. Those who can't because of, and those that can in spite of. What kind are you? I tried to push back by saying I'm the third type, those that want to but can't. He immediately cut me off and said, no, Joy, there has to be balance in the world. Good and evil, right and wrong. There is no third kind because that would disturb the balance. That sounded so spiritual. You ever had one of those moments when someone shares the deepest insight, it strikes a chord, and you start hallucinating? I felt like I was in the middle of Kurukshetra. My boss all decked up like Lord Krishna, explaining karma and dharma to an all confused Arjun. I could even hear someone blowing the conch shell in the background for that pronounced effect. But I must confess, all that could also be because of some late night binge reading of Devdutt Patnaik's book, which is based on the retelling of the Mahabharata. I may have even had a glass or two of Somras whilst reading. What can I say? I'm a method reader, I guess. So anyway, I got suckered into that logic, and from there on, the world was binary, and it only had two kinds of people. Like this one time, I turned down the project because it was trivial. My boss explained, there are two kinds of people in this world, those who make things happen and those who watch things happen. Or this other time when work was piling and I thought I'd ask for some help. But he leaned back on his chair, took a deep breath and said, so Joy, there are two kinds of people in this world, those that buckle under pressure and those that chuckle under pressure. For some strange reason, right, that sort of pep talk makes you believe that you are invincible. And that's how I felt. So I decided to bite the bullet. and play along. What's the worst that can happen? So I stretch myself, work a few extra hours, take on additional responsibilities, absorb the pressure. And if I do that for a year, I should eventually land into a discussion which starts with my boss saying, Joy, there are two kinds of people, those who get promoted and those that don't. Guess where you belong? So for the next 1 year, I did not say no to my boss. I did everything and a little more. I did not have a life outside of work. I was gone in the morning before my kids could wake up and return after they'd fall off to sleep. And if they ever woke up in the middle of the night and found me in the same bed, then my wife would have some explaining to do. And all that sacrifice over a year had to bear fruit at the end, right? So it was our annual day and they were going to announce the promotions that day. I wore my finest suit, and just before I left, I remember my daughter sharing a fun fact with me. She said, Dad, do you know what is the most useless organ in the human body? The first thought that I had was something else. And then I said, no, that can't be right. Yeah, it may have a bad name, but it's not useless. So I replied, no. Turns out it is the appendix. Does not have any real function at all. So anyways, I reached the town hall well ahead of time. They started with the usual song and dance, talent contest. And then finally, the CEO was going to make the announcements. So the CEO pulled out the card like Oscar style, saw the name, smiled, and then started off by saying how this was the only promotion in that function and how this man deserves every bit of praise and accolades. And then he announced the name, which did not sound like my name. He called out my boss's name. That's right. So my two kinds boss got the promotion. My boss, who was sitting right next to me at the same table as all of us, took off immediately to go to the stage. Everyone gives him a standing ovation. I too stand in disbelief. My last 1 year of devoted sacrifice is now flashing right in front of my eyes. And as my two kinds boss was climbing up the stairs, he misses a step, trips, and is almost about to fall. And the crowd goes, oh! But the host breaks his fall and saves him from falling on his face. The applause gets even louder. Now they have two heroes to cheer for. What a night. But that's when it strikes me. Balance. That insight that my boss had shared, I had completely missed the point. Maybe, I got distracted with the Krishna Arjun overalls and costumes, but that dialogue was now replaying in my head. There has to be balance in the world, good and evil, right and wrong, day and night. So for every man who decides they can in spite of, there's another man who decides they can't because of. For every man who decides to make these things happen, there are others who decide to watch things happen. And that is how the balance is restored. You can never have all of the people on one side of the ledge that is precariously placed on a pivot. So I guess that puts my boss on the other side. Evil, wicked, mean, but there's still a necessity to maintain that balance, just like yin and yang, dark and bright, positive and negative. And as my boss collected his trophy and came down, he was being mobbed and greeted by everyone. I did not make eye contact. He settled down, looked at me and said, Joy, you don't look very happy. I said, oh, I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I'm just not happy for myself. So he took a deep breath and out came the words, Joy, there are two kinds of people. And I cut him off. I cut him off right away. I said, I get it. I completely get it. In fact, let me take this one. So let me ask you, there are two kinds of people in this world. And then I paused. And then I started again. So there are two kinds of people in this world, just like the organs in our body, organs that are necessary. They do a good job, but still end up getting a bad name. And those that are totally unnecessary, useless, but still manage to keep a pretty important name. What kind are you? So he immediately said, the first one, of course. I said, yeah, I thought so too. And then he asked, so what organs are these? I said, the second one is an appendix. Okay, and the first one he asked, I said, that you'll have to figure out yourself. Because in the end, there are two kinds of people in this world. Those who get it and those who don't. Thank you, and back to you, TMOD sir.
Thank you, Joy, for the spectacular speech. It was actually an epitome of all the speeches that you did. Thank you so much. Okay, so now can I call upon the timer, Toastmaster Shreyans, to give the timing report, please?
Yes. Firstly, I want to add that since I'm also an engineering student, so I was so lost listening in TM speech, so I forgot to note the time. But but since the meeting is live stream, so I referred the past timings, and both the speakers are qualified. TM Amiya took 5 minutes and 5 seconds, and TM Joy De Silva took 7 minutes and 28 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreyans. Now, before we move to the next part of the speech of the Toastmaster meeting, let me talk about Ganesh Chaturthi. We spoke about pollution, and now I'm going to talk about Ganesh Chaturthi. Everybody is busy in the preparations of Ganesh Chaturthi. What does Ganesh Chaturthi symbolize? It symbolizes the deity's rebirth and represents new beginning. Lord Ganesha is known for removing the obstacles. Now, everybody knows the story about Lord Ganesha, how his rebirth happened, how Goddess Parvati created God Ganesha through the sandalwood paste and kept him outside the house so that he can guard her and while bathing, and how Lord Shiva came in and he didn't allow Lord Ganesha didn't allow Lord Shiva to enter, and the entire story about it. But there's one more story, and as I said, every religion depicts something. And Lord Ganesha, so after Lord Ganesha was created and all, Lord Shiva told Lord Ganesha and his brother to take a circle of the entire world 3 times and get the fruit to Lord Shiva. Now, Lord Ganesha, on riding on a mouse, obviously thought that it is impossible to take the circle of the entire world and then hand over the fruit to Lord Shiva. So what he did, he circled 3 times around his parents, and he said that this is my ultimate world. So now what does this story actually relate? How do you relate this story in your life? That whenever you are faced in a crisis or you have to act quick, there is always a plausible solution, and you just have to be quick and smart enough to handle the situation in a different manner. So what I figured out when I was reading the story, that every story that is associated with some religion has some moral value. And like he was the epitome of devotion for his parents, so Lord Ganesha also, he circled his parents and he told that this is my ultimate world. Now he has big ears. Again, this big ears depicts that you always have to be a good listener before you. So when, especially in Toastmaster, I would like to highlight this, because we are all come here on a platform where we all want to improve our public speaking skill. Now, before you become a good speaker, it is very important to become a good listener. And hopefully, like Lord Ganesha has big ears so that he can listen carefully, we also imply this in our life to become a good listener before we become a good speaker. There's one more part that Ganesh Chaturthi highlights, the importance of keeping one's word. This is very important. He was very dutiful and he kept on his word. Now, we always seen, especially in young kids and all, that they're generally not on their words, but it is so important to keep your words. It gets you respect, and it gets you a lot of recognition when you are actually on your word. You walk the talk. So this is so as I said, every festival has some or the other moral values assigned to it, and it teaches you a lot of things. Now, before we move to the next part, the next part of the Toastmaster meeting is the table topic master, and I would like to call upon Toastmaster Avni to conduct the table topic session. But before Avni takes over the stage, I would like to ask one question to Avni. So Avni, which is your favorite festival and why?
I would say my favorite festival is Navaratri because I love to dance. and just the energy of the place and people dancing together, it brings a lot of joy in my life that I get to dance like 9 days, 10 days. And I hate it when the 10 o'clock deadline is there. Oh God, it's already 10. So I would say Navratri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avni. I can completely resonate with this. I still remember when the 10 p.m. guideline came and we were like all so shattered. We want to dance more. So it's a nice occasion where people come together. They just dance, and dancing is again a very good act of freeing your spirits. So I think you just forget all your stress. You forget everything. You again break from your routine and you just dance on the tune. So I also just love Navratri. Thank you, Avni. So yeah, so to conduct the next session, over to you, Avni. The stage is all yours.
Great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarika. This was such an interesting question, which I had not thought since long. Great. Almost good afternoon. Welcome everyone. So the next part of Toastmaster is super interesting. So table topics now. I'll request everyone to imagine a situation. So in our work or for our personal lives, it would have been that some discussions are going on and suddenly someone asked you, Toastmaster, what are your thoughts on this topic? And maybe at that point of time, you had few ideas in your mind, but due to XYZ reason, the communication of what you wanted to articulate did not reach. Exactly, your boss is like, okay, I'll circle back to this maybe the next day or next week. And the next meeting is back on. Dhirendra is conveying everything that he wants to share. But now, if we are all prepared, or if improvisation is something which is our skill set, then maybe we could have done slightly better job then and there in the moment. So to avoid these situations in our life, or also to make most of improvisation, this is what table topic session is for. Because in our professional life or personal life, we may not get opportunity to, prepare choice of words and then deliver it as required. So this is our opportunity to practice or mold the skill of improvisations in our life. So for this session, it's not just for members. I would strongly advise all guests also to participate and experience the Toastmaster vibe. It would be fun. The topics that I have selected today are aligning to the festive season. I hope they do the work which is helping us improve improvisation and communicating in the moment, and also helping us think, keep on our feet. So there are 3 skills that we would be learning in this Toastmasters, like the table topic time. One is thinking faster. Second is organizing our thoughts. And the last one is delivering it in crisp 1 or 2 minutes. So that's how it is. I would invite, or I would like timer to give timelines for table topic session.
Okay, so for the table topic session, I will show green light at 1 minute, yellow light and 1 minute 30 seconds, and red light at 2 minutes. And disqualification happens at 2 minutes 30 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh. Can I please get sharing rights? Okay, so
yes,
let's
you are the host right now.
Great, thank you. Okay, so let's do it. I hope everyone gives it a shot. Who is going to be the first volunteer to open the stage? You can raise your hands. There is an emoji sign on Zoom. Or else I would randomly invite or call out the names of people. Okay, let me share my screen so that becomes a little bit more inviting. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
So because it's festive time, so we are going to do, this is something that I learned from improv comedy show that I was watching. So you take up the character of people and then you talk about those characters. So during festival, you will see a variety of people around you. So now we were going to polish our skill of observation. And you take up one character. So you get few options as you can see on the screen. So for example, the options are either you become a grandmother, a millennial, maybe a PS person, and a workaholic. You choose any one character that you like, and for maximum, like for 1 or 2 minutes, minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes, you speak or you take this character, what have you observed about this character, but during festivals. So the twist is that you're not generally talking about this person, but you're talking about this person during the festive time. And maybe you will find few characters relatable, or you would have observed them in your family, in your workplaces.
So I can go first, and then maybe you can, I would really encourage guests to also participate, but I can go first. Yes.
Okay, Sarika, which character do you want to make?
I want to take the character of millennial or Gen Z.
Okay, good luck.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt, but Avni, can you stop sharing the screen because I have to show the time, and then you can do it again. Thank you.
Okay, so perfect. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Warm welcome. Actually, it's still good morning. Okay. Warm welcome to everyone. Avni has given me a very nice topic, and this topic talks about how I have observed the millennial or the Gen Z crowd nowadays. Now, during any festive season, I would like to categorize two kinds of people, like Joy mentioned, in the Gen Z also, then the millennial. One are who are very active on social media and who really like to flaunt, and the other type of people who just like to be docile and just calm. So millennials generally, how do they act? Especially in a situation where any festival is there. I've always observed these young people, this young crowd, college going, the new generation, they are always dressed very high, and they enjoy dressing up. And they are all clicking selfies with mobile, not even leaving for a second in their hand, and clicking selfies, uploading, and all the time on social media. I really fail to understand how do they interact. So that is my observation, because they always are on phone. And I've seen people, and especially these millennials, like five of my maybe cousins, kids who are sitting in the room, but everybody is looking on their phone and uploading pictures and chatting with someone in the US and some. So this is my observation, one type of category that I would like to mention of these millennials who are generally on their phone and trying to create selfies and create a social media circle, but not knowing what the next person next to them is actually doing. And the other part of millennials, which I would like to talk about, is someone who's just least bothered about any festival. They're so much into their own life. I've seen that characters also in my family, where they're just, it's indifferent whether it's festive or it's not. It's not a festival, and they are just into themselves and in their routine life, on the phone or with their friends or whatever. But they're just indifferent to festivals, maybe because they don't know about the significance of festival, what important values they have to, they can imbibe from these festive season. So yeah, so I think that's it. My observation on the millennial on the festive part. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Avni.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarika, for opening it up and being the first volunteer. Anyone else would like to go ahead? So I have 10 characters with me in case you want options.
Maybe guest Gaurav, you want to try, or guest Karthik, you want to try? Give it a shot.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
I am just going to give some other options maybe. So any character that you feel like you want to talk about for 1 or 2.
Okay, I'll take Anna, your person who has stayed abroad or out of. can we start the time?
Are we ready, Shreyas?
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's not specific to NRI, but anyway, any people not at home, not with their family. So festival is all about being with family, enjoying food, decking up, wearing good clothes, but placing myself as a person who is not at home. And we crave when it comes to Diwali or at Holi, we crave to be at home, or Raksha Bandhan right now, we could not be at home. So those are times which we miss. We like in COVID, we join every part of the family. My sisters, my brothers, we come on Zoom. We see each other on Zoom, but we cannot touch each other. We cannot feel each other. So that's one thing which is the most missing point in the festival. And say after 1 year or 2 year, people not with their family, when they meet someone, and that's a joy which we have when everyone hug each other, everyone celebrate the festival. Even that's a moment. If suppose there's no festival, but if you're meeting with the family, that is the occasion, that is the festival which one enjoy, and it's similar to, and that is the epitome of the time when people enjoy. So and one more example is that whenever we are not able to go home, we are not able to meet the entire family, when parents come to us, and we celebrate all the rituals of the festival. So there's the best time to enjoy the festival. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. That was a great sharing of a character. What else wants to go ahead? I'm just checking if someone wants to volunteer, or we will start calling people out.
Vishal has raised his hand.
Vishal? Yeah. Great, Vishal. Let me share my screen. What character do you want to choose?
I would choose a person who is foodie.
Okay, over to you.
Yeah. Is the timing on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Avni. So foodie, as I said even earlier when Toastmaster Sarika had asked me this question. So eating food is actually not a unique thing, but for me it's very unique because I don't get to eat a lot of sweets because of my fitness regime. But during festivals, I tend to eat a lot of food, and so a lot of the times it happens that whatever fitness goals that I have achieved, when it's not festival, that actually all those goals are kind of gone for a toss when festival time arrives. I eat so much of sweets that all of my weight that I've reduced, or all of my muscle gains that I have achieved during my fitness, that those all go for a toss. So uh, whenever it's time for a festival, I am very much excited to eat sweets. And whenever I go to someone's house, I actually ask like what all sweets will be there, and what is there on the menu. So that is my first question whenever I have to attend someone's house for a festival, or any kind of event. So I am very much a foodie, and that's what I like about festivals. So, and over to you, Toastmaster Avni.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kedar. I could completely relate to it, though I'm not into fitness. But who wants to go next? Yes, Kilaji. Great. Thank you so much for joining. So we have new set of topics. So the next one is, according to you, if you see any festival, there are generally two sets of people, introvert and people who are extroverts and love interaction. You could choose any one of those, that how these characters would look like during festivals. Sorry, you're not audible. The audio is not. Not yet. You want to rejoin or maybe connect audio?
Yes, you can rejoin or you can see whether there is connect audio option in your
So the
bottom.
connect audio option is there, but I think we are not able to hear her.
Yes. So wait, you can rejoin.
Kokila, we are not able to hear you. Maybe you want to try unmuting, muting again, or maybe rejoining the session.
Yes.
By the time I think Vishal Khanvilkar had raised his hand. So
Hi,
Kokila,
Vishal.
we are able to hear you, Kokila.
Kokila, we will come back to you after Vishal's speech. Meanwhile, you could figure out the audio issues that are there. Great, Vishal. I am again going to share my screen and you let me know what character interests you or you want to talk about particular.
Yeah, maybe I would take a extrovert person, a person who loves social interaction. Thanks, Toastmaster Ramya, and thanks all. Good morning all. And first of all, apologies. I joined the meeting late at 12. I had gone for some personal work. I returned back and thought of joining it. So basically, I am an introvert person, but I like extrovert people. That characteristics during festivals or in any of the occasion. These people are able to gel immediately with the surrounding or with the other people. Even if when they meet new people in during these occasions, generally these people meet all different kind of people, and hence they are able to gel it quickly, even if with the unknown person. And because of this quality, they can. And I'm myself trying to improve from being an introvert to at least being not an extrovert at least, but at least try to be somewhere between introvert and extrovert, so that at least I could also gel up in the occasions. So basically, I can communicate or I can quickly gel with the known persons, but if an unknown people, I'm not able to break the ice during the discussion. So yeah, so basically this function or this characteristics is an added advantage if being an extrovert. But yeah, you should have a balance between extrovert and introvert to succeed in your life. Thanks.
Great job, Vishal. I love that you described that I'm an introvert and you chose a topic which is exactly opposite to describe the other side. So that was very interesting. Great. Toastmaster Sikandar. Let me share my screen and you tell me the character that you want to take. Sorry, there are multiple characters.
Yeah, no issue. I would like to take the topic of workaholic person who works at corporate. So first of all, I would like to thank Table Topic Master Avni for giving me such a great topic. And I relate to a person who is a workaholic because I myself have seen many people around me who have been working around and being a workaholic, and at times being in a corporate job is a different also sort of scenario, because being an engineer myself, I understand that if there is a production issue or an issue that is related to some work which is to be solved, the client wants it then and there, be it a holiday for you, be it not a holiday for you. So it's always urgent for the client, and it is always as being in corporate, we understand that we want to treat the client in a way that he should feel that he is getting the importance and maintaining a balance between giving him importance and making him realize that okay, there has to be a gap between them. But during holidays, the very biggest challenge I mentioned is that if there is an issue, you have to resolve it. So person has to, if it's a festive, he has to go for work. So and that would be it. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Master Sukan. Kokila, can you unmute and say hi so that now? Still not audible. Not able to.
You can remove your phones and try from your phone's or laptop speaker. Yeah, and unplug it from laptop also.
No. She can also try logging from some other device.
Yes, you can also try logging from your phone or some other device.
So we'll move ahead and till the time Kokila's audio issues are sorted. I want to invite any guest who would like to give this a shot. Yeah, guest. Ramya, Dharmendra, anyone. Guest Neeraj.
Yeah, I can try. Am I audible?
Yes, you are perfectly audible. Which character do you want to choose, Neeraj?
Maybe I'll try. How about the introvert one?
Okay, awesome. So you are taking introvert character.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramya, for the opportunity to speak. And yeah, an introvert person during festivals. I love the kind of excuses they come up with when they don't want to socialize, especially during all these festivals when they are called upon. Like be it Holi, they would say, "My skin is too sensitive, so I cannot come out. I can't go out. It's too harmful." If it is Diwali, they would end up saying there's a lot of pollution and it impacts the health adversely, so I can't come out. And if it is Ganpati, they would say it's too noisy outside, there's a lot of traffic, it's a pain to travel, there's a lot of crowd, it's a difficult thing to do, and they would end up kind of being all alone by themselves and spending quality time by themselves. Apart from this, I think during festivals, a lot of people in corporate world apply for leave, and this is the time when introverts who cannot express themselves can show their kind of talent or things like that by staying back in office and working around. So in order to reach their epitome of success, they stay back and ensure that they are completing all the work to show their managers that they are sacrificing on behalf of everyone. So I think this is an introvert character and how he reacts during the festival season. I think, thank you. That was all from my end.
Great. It was little humorous also the way you describe excuses. So great. Thank you so much. Who wants to go next? Glenn, Joy, any one of you wants to try? Okay, thank you, Glenn. I saw you unmuting and I so.
Hello.
Okay, what character do you want to take? There are a few options.
Okay, so I can choose from any of the slides, is it?
Any one character you take, whatever interests you.
From this slide that you have on screen, right?
Yes. We are going to use our observation skills, and that's why the characters might be a little specific from what we have seen around our environment. You can take.
Yeah, your slides keep changing, so I'm a little confused which one I'm supposed to. I can take any slide?
Okay, you take any one character. I'm going to pause on this slide itself. Sorry.
Oh. Okay, so let's try with a metro or a city bred person. So to begin, I think, firstly, thank you so much for this particular topic. Talking about a metro or a city-bred person, I think most of us from Mumbai can consider ourselves as basically not can consider, but we are actually metro city-based individuals, right? Now, for example, if someone from the city has to go to and live in maybe a village or somewhere in the interiors, I think they find that a little difficult initially to kind of transition from a city-based life to a life that's a little slow. I find that especially with people like us from Mumbai, because I'm not sure if you've experienced it, but you travel anywhere around the world or in India for that matter. I think once you cross Mumbai, time actually comes to a standstill. So that's something that I have personally observed. I think time travels a lot slower in different cities, different places, unless of course you're in some place like Mumbai, right? So yeah, I think that's what I would like to share when it comes to a metro-based person. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Great, great. This was one of the most difficult topics, which at least while I was writing, I could think of. So great job in attempting it. We can take one or two people.
Kokila is here, I think.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Amazing. So happy to hear your voice.
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay, Kokila. So I think we were at introvert and extrovert character during festival. So how do they behave? What do they do? And you chose, I forgot what you chose.
Introvert.
Okay, over to you.
Very good afternoon to everyone. I myself is a Toastmaster at Muscat Morrison Toastmaster Club. And I have shifted to Mumbai since 6 months. I'm very happy that you have given me the topic on festive season. Yes, and being an NRI, I have come here to witness all the festivals. As the Toastmasters said, that eating, being a foodie, he likes to eat. So all the delicacies also I'm going to prepare here. So all are invited. This is the very exciting moment where a person who is an introvert feels that there is, if you give an example, that he has his own space. He doesn't want to explore more. For him, the window shows from the window, if he is not, even if he doesn't want to hear the sound, the beautiful music, and the whole nature also supports him. And the introvert person also during this festive season comes out and witnesses the real importance of the festivals. So these festivals here in India show us a diversification, not along with the mythological stories, but they relate it with the relations and the reference towards all creation. So I'm very happy that we used to celebrate as an NRI, but being an introvert person, I, along with my family, now will be able to witness it socially. So it's really important that we come out from our comfort zone and enjoy each and every festival with full of enthusiasm and fervor. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Kokila. This is very interesting to hear. Okay, so I'm going to call out a person randomly. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Joy. The reason being because it aligns to the engaging humor part, and I thought maybe you could attempt any humor in this section for 1 or 2 minutes. Which character do you want?
Let me go ahead with grandmother.
It could be grandfather also. Sorry, the image could be distinct. Okay.
All right, so it's a complete dichotomy that you will actually go ahead and see during the festivals when you have the older generation, the grandfathers, grandmothers, vis-a-vis the Gen Z, okay, when it comes to following traditions. So the Gen Z actually don't want to follow traditions. They want to do everything their way. They want to spend very little time with family and want to spend as much time with friends, and they want to go out and splurge a lot of money. But when it comes to, the old school, the grandparents, they want to ensure that the traditions are followed first, no matter how old they are. Some of those traditions don't even actually go ahead and make a lot of sense. So I remember this one conversation that we had. So, I have this cousin of mine who've been living in Singapore for a while, and they came down and they happened to meet the grandparents. And, there's this tradition of doing the swastika. Yeah, so every time there's a puja, there's a swastika which is drawn. And to the Gen Z, okay, these young kids, what they learned was swastika is actually a Nazi symbol, right? So it's actually a symbol of hate. So which is quite contradictory, and it's a little difficult to go ahead and explain what that means and why it is still relevant, and it is not everything that it is made out to be. But then again, it's still difficult to go ahead and combine the two perspectives. And I think over a period of time, traditions are actually something that will probably lose its hold on the newer generation. And we'll have to find a way to go ahead and make sense of both these generations coming together and still, ensuring that there's a sense of community, which is what festivals are meant to bring together. And so in its own way, I think it'll still continue to have a hold on the newer generation as well. Thank you. And back to you, TTM Avni.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joy. So yeah, I would end the table topic session here. I was so happy to hear 9 different voices who participated. Thank you so much. Next time others could participate for, so you could have like variety. Over to those TMOD Sarika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avni, for this unique, innovative table topic session. And 9 participants, that's what's a very good count. Okay, so now let's move forward with again our the topic about festivals. Now here I would just like to maybe have few quiz around festival so that I can engage with the audience and all. I'm going to ask few questions, and people can just unmute and raise your hand and just answer. So these are, because I've already covered 2 festivals, and as I said, there are more than 50 festivals. It's difficult for me to cover all, but because these 2 festivals are ongoing for Jains, the festival is ongoing. Today is the 5th day, and Ganesh Chaturthi is coming, and it's starting from 31st. So I thought that at least I'll cover these 2 and maybe talk general about all the other festivals. So my first question is, which state celebrates Gnocchi festival? Anybody's aware? Gnocchi, sorry if I have pronounced it correctly. The Gnocchi festival, is it a difficult one? It is, okay.
It is Nuakhai, no?
Okay, Nuakhai, sorry. Yes.
I think Odisha.
That's Odisha. Right. Yeah, right. So see, so there are so many festivals that it's so difficult to even, I've heard it for the first time. So Nuakhai, okay, that's nice. Which is the national festival of Kerala? National Festival of Kerala? Onam. Okay, that's right, Onam. Which is the famous festival of Tamil Nadu? Come on, Tamil Nadu.
Bullfight.
It starts from T.
Pongal.
That's right. So that's the famous festival of Tamil Nadu, which is Pongal. Okay. Anybody has heard about Kambala festival of Karnataka? I'm going to give you 4 choices that what does this Kambala festival of Karnataka is associated with? Is it associated with bullfighting, tribal dance, buffalo race, or cockfighting?
Tribal dance?
Buffalo race.
Buffalo race. That's right, Sikandar. Oh God, I think it's a difficult one. Okay, Papeti. Papeti is a festival for which religion?
Parsis.
Parsis, right. Pateti. Okay, that's right. Now you have to guess the name of the god God of new beginnings.
Ganesh. Ganesh.
Ganesh.
That's right. Lord Ganesha.
Lord Ganesh.
Okay. Now you have to guess the festival that is celebrated as the victory of divine goddess over the demon of Mahisasur.
Durga.
That's right. Durga Puja. Right. Absolutely correct. Okay. Festival that symbolizes the overcoming of ignorance and darkness in life.
Diwali.
Diwali.
Dashera.
No, it's Mahashivratri.
Mahashivratri.
Yes, that is a festival that symbolizes that overcoming of ignorance in this. And okay, anybody has heard about Flamingo Festival?
Flamingo.
Yes, I also heard it for the first time when I was finding it out. So Flamingo Festival is associated with which state?
I think Northeast, no?
Mumbai.
Northeast one.
Mumbai.
Andhra Pradesh.
That's right. That's right. Andhra Pradesh. And who answered that? Karthik, maybe you want to talk something about what exactly is this Flamingo Festival?
I don't know much about this festival. I don't know much about this festival, but I have heard about this festival. So I can say that Flamingo Festival is because I came to know about this festival because I tried once in Andhra Pradesh, and at that period of time it was there. What I can tell you about this festival. I think so. There is I don't know much about this festival, but when I traveled to Andhra Pradesh at that period of time, I came to know about this festival. So I know this festival is being celebrated over there.
Yes. So yes, it's the festival of Andhra Pradesh. So you see, there are so many different festivals, and every state has some or the other culture. When I was
Maybe
trying
bird or lake or something is there or something.
Bird. Flamingo is a
it's
bird.
a bird.
Flamingo is a bird, right? Yeah. So on bird they do. Yeah. So I don't know much about it.
Yeah. So when I was just exploring these festivals around, and different state has different way of celebrating. And overall, what conclusion that I could draw is basically every festival unites people. The only and the sole purpose of celebrating this festival is to get some happiness around it and celebrate it, and unite, talk to, and it's just a bond of love that you share. So that is my take on festival. And now we move to the last segment about Toastmaster meeting, which is the general evaluation, which is again a very important section. And to conduct today's general evaluator is Toastmasterjoy. And to conduct the general evaluation session, I would like to call upon Toastmasterjoy. Toastmasterjoy, over to you.
All right, thank you, TMOD Sarika. Now, as a general evaluator, I have 3 duties to perform. So the first one is, of course, to call the evaluators, the speech evaluators, and have them share their feedback on the speakers. The evaluators have to follow what is known as the CRC method, which is commend, recommend, and then comment. I'm going to follow that up with the second duty, which is to call the tag team, the timer, our counter, and the grammarian to present their report. And finally, I will share my report on the entire meeting. So let's start with the timer first. So can I request the timer to go ahead and give us the speech guidelines for the evaluations?
Yes. For the evaluation, I will show green light at 2 minutes, yellow light at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red light at 3 minutes. Disqualification will happen at 3 minutes 30 seconds.
All right, thank you, timer. So for the first speech, we have our evaluator, Toastmaster Glenn. Can I request Toastmaster Glenn to share his evaluation for Toastmaster Ramya, please?
Thank you so much, Toastmasterjoy. Now audible and visible?
Yes.
So Toastmaster Ramya, your speech was an epitome of inspiration. I really enjoyed how you shared your dream. Not just that, also the challenges that you encountered to become an engineer and how you overcame all of those challenges. with the help of a mentor who basically guided you and helped you out of the issues that you were facing in college. So I think that just shows that maybe a little bit of a help goes a long way in putting somebody on the right track. Now, since this is a icebreaker speech, I do have a few recommendations for you. I would have liked to know a little bit more about you, because you started off just talking about your college life. But not just I, as a matter of fact, I think the club as well would have wanted to know about your childhood, about your school life, maybe if you're working, something about your work life, and a little bit about what you would like to achieve in the near future. Another thing that I would like to recommend is that try and stand and give your speeches, because obviously those help with your hand gestures, and you will have a better impact when it comes to engaging the audience. Apart from that, try and practice your speech to such an extent that you do not really have to rely or go back to the notes when you're reciting your speech. So that's some feedback that I would like to share with you. But overall, it was your first speech. I think you did a good job with the icebreaker. And I'd really like to learn a little bit more about you, and hopefully we will see that in the next speeches that you give. So thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Joy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Glenn. I now request the second evaluator, Toastmaster Avni, to share her feedback and evaluation of the second speech from Toastmaster Joy. So over to you, Toastmaster Avni.
Great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joy. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So Joy, I think multiple things. I loved the entire set. It was very tight, crisp.
रुक जाओ
Yes, Toastmaster Ramya, you can continue.
Right. So very tight, very crisp. I think the first thing was the Sudha Sarika. Was it purpose? Like, did you do it purposely or?
No, it was not on purpose. It was a mistake.
Oh, great. So I thought it gave a great start. So for me, I wrote it down on the things that went well because it was humor and so great. I mean, naturally. Love the way of hand gestures were used. The content was very, very crisp. So the content was very crisp. I loved the Zomato reference, like how it, and there were so many things that you fit in like 7 minutes, right? From like Zomato reference to your boss, multiple callbacks, and then finally describing the daughter episode to your suit, to the final appraisal ceremony and coming back. So I felt there are so many things and still it did not feel cluttered. It made sense. The transition was very smooth. Loved the Kurukshetra reference and the Krishna corn shell thing. So that was great. The outcome, I feel the story or all the build up that you had done till now and eventually reaching to balance and talking about that, okay, nothing in extreme works. And that's what my learning from this entire, so that at least I could relate to it, that the objective or the end result of what you want to share or what is the entire motto behind the storytelling, that was very clear. So I love that fact. The other thing that I personally learned, or that is my learning for the day, would be callbacks. So we always have this that we keep telling story, but we don't link it back to the callbacks. So I love the way you call back in two kinds of people. Okay, do tarah ke log hote hai, and then you used it thrice. And finally, the closing was also very tight because we used that two kinds of people. But here, it was not your boss, but you were the one who learned the lesson and told it. So that was great. You had a mild smile throughout. So that is something which I liked. I think few areas, again, I'm not very sure if this is the ultimate when I'm trying to figure it out what works. But I just felt that maybe the tone, or you were speaking very quickly, and I know naturally also you speak a little fast. But when it comes to humor, it's all about pausing, absorbing the content, and the highs and lows on the voice that also resonates with the audience. So I would have liked to have like participants who camera was on to have like a mild smile on their face, if not like, because it's not stand up, so not laughing like LOL laughter, but at least having smile. So maybe I feel the humor or delivery, if it was with the highs and lows, we will get some more time to absorb the amazing bits and content that was there. But because the objective was humor, nothing else, the other bit was about within 7 minutes fitting in so many concepts. I personally liked it, but again, I'm thinking in retrospect of how this works with respect to objective. Is it like a good thing to have so many contents if it's typeset, or should it be like mild so that people absorb more? But this is a question in my head. I'm not very sure if there is an answer that I have right now. So this were all the things that I mean have. I think most of the places I've scored like 5, but only 2-3 places where it is vocal variety and humor, where it's like basically 3 and 4. The humor was present, it was purposeful, but that obviousness of an humor that it reaches the audience and audience also smile, laugh. I was expecting that could be more. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, I took a lot of time.
That's all right. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Avni. That was some useful feedback, lessons to remember in the future. All right. So with that, can I call back the timer again to share the timing and the qualifications for both the evaluators, please?
Yes, so I have shared the timings of both Toastmaster Ramya and Toastmasterjoy, and now I want to say that all the table topic speakers have qualified. Toastmaster Sarika took 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Guest Gaurav took 1 minute and 39 seconds. Toastmaster Kedar took 1 minute and 30 seconds. Guest Vishal took 1 minute and 27 seconds. Toastmaster Sikandar took 1 minute and 15 seconds. Guest Neeraj took 1 minute and 23 seconds. Toastmaster Glenn took 1 minute and 16 seconds. Guest Kokila took 1 minute and 51 seconds. Toastmasterjoy took 1 minute and 43 seconds. And for the general evaluation, Toastmaster Glenn took 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Toastmaster Avni extended a little bit. She took 3 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay, well done. Thank you, timer. I now request the R counter to go ahead and share the R counting report, please.
Yeah, thanks, Toastmasterjoy. Can I have the screen sharing rights? I would like to share my screen.
Yes, giving you. Yes, you can share it now.
Yeah. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so these are basically the speakers who have spoken today, and as you can see, Toastmaster Amya used 2 crutch sounds, 3 filler words, and he took 2 long pauses. Toastmasterjoy took said 2 crutch words, 4 filler words, and he took no long pauses. So for all the speakers, basically I've also included for Sarika, she did multiple roles. So I have evaluated for all the roles. So that is why, you have to take that into consideration as well. For Avni, she did the TTM role as well as the evaluator role. So I have taken that into consideration as well. So just for your reference. So ultimately, this is basically for our feedback and, just to see that how much crutch words or filler words that we are using. So you guys can take a look, and maybe I can share this Excel or I can share this screenshot on our group as well for everyone's benefit.
All right, so thank you, Toastmaster Kedar. Moving on to our last of the tag team, that's the grammarian, Toastmaster Dhirendra. Can I request you to share your report, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster Joy. My report will not be that accurate because there was a technical glitch. I could not reconnect. So I was off the session for around 5-10 minutes. But whatever report that I have collected, I'd like to speak it out. So regarding word of the day, so Toastmaster Sarika has used word of the day 2 times. Toastmaster Joy has used it 1 time. And with respect to good usage of languages that was recorded, Toastmaster and our icebreaker speaker Ramya Ghosh has used magic, dramatical balancing act, the good usage of language. Then Toastmaster Joy has used invincible, balanced in the world, hallucinating, buckle under pressure, Oscar style, praise and agony, eye contact. Toastmaster Sarika has used imply in life, keeping on words, and resonate. Toastmaster Avani has used vibe, communicating in the moment. Toastmaster Glenn has used transition, standstill. Guest speaker Kokila has used enthusiasm and fervor. Uh, Toastmaster Joy has used again dichotomy. Uh, I think yes, and Toastmaster Sarika again has used some good words like deep introspections, bond of love, friction, and spirituality. Some not so good of language, some not so good usage of language, which I recorded is career was pronounced as carriers, uh, and heavy tensions, not good use of vocabulary. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, Toastmaster Dhirendra, for that very elaborate report. Before I go ahead, I just need to go ahead and confirm if you have any ballots for the speakers. Do we have any votes, polls for the speakers?
We do not have votes.
No? Okay. All right, so in that case, I will go ahead and start with my report for the entire meeting. So considering the fact that this was probably a last minute planned meet because we did not have enough role players from the very beginning. I don't think there were speakers who went ahead and decided to go ahead and make the speech, which is why the agenda was missing. And because the agenda was missing, I think plenty of things went wrong. And that is something that needs to be curbed right from the very beginning. An agenda has to be there. In fact, every update has to go into the agenda right from the very beginning. So it was difficult for the meeting to start on time. And it was also difficult for me to tell whether we are adhering to the time in the absence of the agenda. Nevertheless, the meeting started with a very, I like word to use spontaneous for our South Terrestrians. He's got that spunk and he's got that enthu, which is very nice to see in somebody who's a young Toastmaster. Also reminds me of another Toastmaster, Mehek. She also has the same kind of spunk. So it's always nice to have a meeting with somebody young, with all that energy start at the very beginning. So good start. And it was followed by the presiding officer, Sudha, who I think was also, not prepared for her message today. She did not have a message, in fact, so she tried to relate to the theme of festivals. But her usual style, which is, starting with the story and having a message was what was missing. Then, of course, we had TMOD again, Sarika. I think Sarika has got a lot of screen time since the time she became president as compared to the last 1 year when she was, another Toastmaster. But that is great. It's always good to go ahead and see somebody with multiple talent to come up and take the mantle so many times. And it was great because she went ahead and gave us a lot of insight to the festivals that we are surrounded by and yet we know so little of. Yeah, so in fact, the very first one that she started with, Paryushana, that's the first time that I heard of that festival. I did not even know what that is. I had to Google the word because it sounded like pollution to me. When you said pollution, it sounded like pollution to me. I'm like, what exactly is that? Yeah. So somebody who's been around for such a long time, it was good to hear about these festivals. So that was great. Coming to the tag team, Shriyans, I think you went ahead and missed, putting up your timer screen for the first speech, and then you went ahead and mentioned that, before the start of the second speech. So I think because you're still learning the role, it's something that you'll have to eventually get used to, ensuring that Also the spotlight. Sometimes the spotlight was not on the speaker. The spotlight was on somebody else. So the spotlight needs to be a little more spontaneous, always spotlight the speaker. And I think you went ahead and shared the host rights when Toastmaster Avni went ahead and asked you to, give her the screen sharing rights. So you don't have to go out and, keep changing the host every time. You can always share or select the option of multiple sharing. That will allow you to go ahead and keep the host rights, because what happens is you'll have to keep taking that back once the person has finished sharing, or finished being the host. So that was something that you have to work on. As far as grammarian Dhirendra is concerned, Dhirendra started with a quote. So something on the lines of, I'm not a result of my circumstances, I'm a result of my choices. Did not exactly come that way, but he went ahead and shared that. And then he came up with the word of the day, epitome. But when someone asked for the usage of the word, I think it was Toastmaster Sarika who asked for the usage of the word. So the usage was something he had not prepared for. So I think that is basic. It is the core responsibility of the grammarian to go out and ensure that you have the word of the day ready along with the pronunciation and the usage. So that is the core responsibility, and then you can value add. So what you did, Dhirendra, was a value add in terms of sharing a quote first. Yeah, so ensure you stick to your core responsibility, and then of course the value adds make a lot of sense. Coming to Kedar, who played the R counter today. So again, I think this has been happening for a while now. We keep sharing our Excel sheets, which has got a very elaborate description of how many R's and ums and crutch words and fillers. So one is, of course, that report is very good to have. You can always mention what are the crutch words, because to me, I don't know, what crutch words I've used. So I see the number, but I still don't know what crutch words have been used. And something that I would recommend the R counters to go out and start doing is not just make people aware, but also help them manage or get over their dependence of, these filler words. How do they get over it? You've told me that I've used filler 6 times. Now, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, so you need to come up with certain tips. Maybe tell them to go out and slow down. Maybe tell them to go out and embrace the silence, which a lot of people are not comfortable with. Maybe they can go out and use a prop, maybe keep a pen in their hand. So the next time they want to go out and use a or a or a crutch word, just go ahead and just change the prop from one hand to another. Yeah, so some subtle techniques, because we're making people aware, but we're not giving them the knowledge of how they can get over those crutch words. And then, of course, again, it was back to TMOD to go ahead and continue with her theme. She went ahead and shared Ganesh Chaturthi. She went ahead and involved the audience as well. So she had a last-minute trivia and some quiz ready, which was, again, great. Again, the idea was to go ahead and engage people as much as possible, which she did very well. Again, given the fact that it was all last-minute preparation, I'm still surprised by the amount of knowledge that you were able to share in that given short time. Coming to the TTM Avni, yeah, I think it was very innovative, and I think that's her forte. And every time she picks a role, right, she comes up with something innovative, something very, very different. So I like the fact that she was able to go out and set a context right at the beginning. She went ahead and said that it's going to be a merger of 3 skills, right? So you will be thinking, you'll be organizing, and then you'll be delivering your speech. Also, what happened with that context is, a lot of people were a little hesitant to go first. Yeah, so again, TMOD Sarika was able to go out and take the cue, and she thought, being a seasoned Toastmaster, right, if I give it a go ahead, I think everyone else will be more comfortable, and that's exactly what happened. So TTM Avni, I think that's the only lesson or the only feedback for you. While you go ahead and bring in those innovations, which is great, you might want to go ahead and also probably play have a dry run with some seasoned Toastmasters so that it can allay the fears of everybody else on the platform. Another feedback that I would like to go ahead and share is you had too many slides, and I think that kind of curtailed the thoughts of a few members, right? So if you ask anybody who's from marketing in this particular platform, and they'll go ahead and tell you, when you give people a choice, right, there will be chaos. So what happens is your thinking gets scattered. So you had a lot of these characters. You might want to go ahead and stick to maybe 3, 4, or 5 characters. I think there were over a dozen characters. So it's a little difficult for people to go ahead and think in terms of any 1 or 2 characters. So the decision making does not come across as a strong suit for people when they have so many choices to make from. But in the end, very well done, because you had 9 participants in all. and that was a good achievement. So that was TTM. Finally coming to the evaluators, again, Toastmaster Glenn, seasoned evaluator. And I like the way that he keeps things very, very subtle. So realizing the fact that this is an icebreaker speech, you can't go ahead and give a whole lot of feedback because this is the very first time, this person has made a speech, but he kept it very, very subtle, and he was able to go out and give feedback in that CRC method that is recommended. So plenty of good lessons there. I'm sure it will go ahead and encourage Amir to go ahead and do better in the next speech as well. And same goes for Avni as well. I think she was a little more observant about not just her evaluation, but also about how the audience feels about that particular speech. So she was able to go ahead and bring that into her perspective of evaluation as well. How does the audience go ahead and take that speech? So all in all, it was good. Plenty of lessons there, I feel. Again, I think the biggest lesson that we need to have is, as a team, we should probably have a plan B ready, because there will be plenty of times, at least in the coming months, where we will have fewer participations because of the festive season. So if we can have a plan B in place, we will not have to do any last minute running around. So that's from me. Thanks for the opportunity again. So back to you, TMOD Sarika.
Thank you, Toastmasterjoy, for this detailed general evaluation. This feedback is always very valuable. And yes, as you mentioned, it was a last minute rush this time because I couldn't get it. But yes, a lesson learned, that plan B should be done. Thank you. Okay, so last, talking maybe the end part about festive season, the theme of today is that just celebrate life. Like you celebrate festivals over a period of time, just celebrate life so that life becomes a festival of joy. You make a commitment to enjoy every moment so that your journey becomes a festival of joy. So that's it from the theme part. And now I would like to go over maybe take a round and just ask the guest about their feedback. How did you find the meeting? Any suggestions? And yeah, so maybe I'll just quickly go over the circle and guest Gaurav. Guest Gaurav?
Yeah, it was a wonderful experience. I mean, what expectation I had, I got greater than what expectation I had. So really look forward to rejoin in next meetings you have. And yeah, it was good. So that's all.
Thank you.
And the best part was the way you give feedback and people come to know that where they are lacking and how they can improve. So that's the best part.
Yes, absolutely, Gaurav. And I think that is the best part about Toastmaster, because actually feedback is the breakfast of any champion. So it is very important to get a feedback and then introspect on that and then apply that feedback and become more better. So yes, that's the best part. Thank you. And we look forward to your attending more meetings and joining the Mumbai Speakers Toastmaster Club. Next, we move to guest Karthik. Karthik, any takeaways, any lessons? How did you find the meeting? How did you find the construct of the meeting?
I've learned so many things, and I'm feeling good. I'm attending the seminar for the first time, and I'm seeing that every people are so confident giving a speech and giving you so good presentations, evaluating the person who is giving the speech, and it's more of, okay, I can do much better if I will be the part of this team. So I'm also one of the person who is on the learning stage right now. So I will also want to grow with you guys. So I'm learning right now. I'm seeing everyone, noting everything, whatever you guys are saying, crunchies, phrases, word which should not be used in the sentence and all that. So feeling good. This was my first day. I heard about the Toastmaster, but this is the first time I'm attending. So this is a good experience overall. So I'll be coming back from the next week. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Karthik.
you for giving me the opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, Karthik. And as you rightly said, everybody is at the learning stage. I think learning stays with you till your deathbed. till the last moment, till the last breath, you are actually learning something. And no better platform than Toastmasters, because it actually helps you improve on your personal skills, and you can see, the moment I've been a Toastmaster since a year now, more than a year actually, and how it has helped and in my personal life, in my professional life, and you will see the changes gradually. So yes, learning is always a very good philosophy, and you need to be a learner actually till your deathbed. Okay, so let's move forward to guest Dharmendra. You have any takeaways, anything that you would like to share?
Hello, Sarika. Thank you for giving me opportunity. Yeah, it is the first time I'm attending the Toastmaster meeting, and that's also virtually. And the format and hearing the different peoples and very positive and constructive feedback from the different people. And I like the format of like each and every participant has a one role, and so that it is kind of a complete team effort. Like there is one saying that one should learn from someone and teach someone. Like that, like here we are learning and guiding the other also. The senior person is guiding the junior person how he can improve and implement that positive. And the feedback is also very positive and constructive feedback. That's the very best part. And yes, I'm very happy and very positive, and I will be joining the next meeting. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dharmendra. Rightly said. I think Toastmaster is a very non-judgmental space where nobody judges each other. We all help each other in growing and building this community. So very rightly said. Let me move forward to guest Tanuja. Tanuja, how did you like the meeting? Any takeaways? What is your feedback?
Yeah, hi Sarika. So I just loved the entire setup. The how everything was set in sequence, and there was everything was planned up. So when I joined in, so I thought that it will be a general discussion, and like how mindset that usually we have when we go for any meetup. So I just thought it will be a general meetup where we need to and there'll be 2-3 speakers, evaluators. I had heard a little bit about Toastmasters before joining in as a guest today, and I really enjoyed. I mean, there was so much of feedback going on. There is continuous scope of improvement. Even if I even saw that even if the Toastmasters have reached to such high good levels, still they were given feedback and it was still taken positively. So that was a very, very important takeaway, and yeah, I just enjoyed the process, and I'm very soon to join.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Tanuja. This was really nice. And yes, Toastmaster is a 100-year-old organization, and the best part is about the structure, because it is designed in such a way that there is prepared speech, there is table topic, and there is a general evaluator. And today we had the best general evaluator, Toastmasterjoy. He's very seasoned, very experienced, and very critical. So yes. Okay.
It could actually be seen. So, I mean, even if he was not introduced, it was very much, very, very much seen.
That's right. Okay, let me move forward to Toastmaster Kokila, because I've addressed her Toastmaster Kokila because she is a visiting Toastmaster, right? She's already a Toastmaster since she mentioned, I don't know the period, but yes. Kokila, over to you. Maybe some feedback, or how did you like the meeting?
Yeah. Yes. Even I'm a Toastmaster since 2 years in Oman, Muscat, Maurice and Muscat Toastmasters, where all are seasoned Toastmasters, and it is a very old Toastmaster club. I had joined there with my speechcraft program, and after the speechcraft program, I joined the Maurice and Muscat. There we used to get feedback from all seasoned Toastmasters. I could not join this because I had some technological problem, and because of that glitch. Actually, yesterday when I typed, when I came to know from the Toastmaster site about this club, I wanted to meet everyone in person. Actually, as one of the Toastmasters in the table topic mentioned, that we are fed up of these online meetings now. And so I said, if it is half-heartedly only I joined, because I wanted that if it is a personal meeting, I would join, because it is a long time to be in such type of meetings there. But overall, meeting new people, really, even though as the general evaluator mentioned that even it as the 11th hour, you had no preparation. It was really hats off to you and congratulations to Toastmaster of the Day, Sarika, for giving such a good insight on the festive seasons and everyone 360-degree for the festivals where many people are not aware of the festival. So I really enjoyed it. Yes, always there's a scope for improvement. Even for me as a Toastmaster also, we learn and every session teaches us so many things. I'm getting adjusted here with the Bombay and I'm also attending many Toastmasters. Within the day and the time which suits me, I'm going to join it very soon. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kupila. And yes, as you rightly said, online meetings, we also do have one offline meeting in a month. And we've just recently started. Last month, we had one meeting and 3 meetings online. So yeah, so we are trying to build up the gap and bridge the gap and trying to move forward offline. But yeah, it will happen eventually. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so I think I've covered all the guests, and here we come at the end of the meeting. Thank you all for joining in and being present here. Hope you had great learning experience from the Toastmasters meeting, and have an amazing Sunday, a beautiful week ahead, and looking forward to everyone to join next week again with a new theme, new drama, and a lot of new excitement. There's just one announcement that I'm going to make, that there is a Moment of Truth form that I'm going to circulate in the group. Members, please log in and just fill up the form. We need to do it before 31st. So yeah, thank you all. Thank you all for joining in. A very warm, a happy Sunday to everyone.